going on, guys? We're talking about the quads here, and we've shown a lot of the couch stretch variations of how to actually, stretch out the quads, getting into the TFL and the hip flexor and psoas and all those things. But to mobilize them is also very, very important. Honestly, for me, a lot of times when my quads get super tight, which is more often than not, just because we do so much sled pushing here, I like to mobilize them before I actually stretch them out. So think of it as like kind of getting the tissue primed to be able to open all of it up. Two of my favorite tools are just these little basic rumbler rollers, something where I can actually get the tissue to kind of articulate and stretch and move and get the fascia to get some, hopefully, hydration in there so it kind of is more pliable. And then just some basic input with a barbell. If you guys have a dumbbell or heavy medicine ball, you can use that too. So when I do start off, really quick, really simple. If I do both quads at once, I'll try to just be here and just relax. Can I breathe here in this relaxed position? And most people are familiar with just the rolling front to back, which I have no problem with that, just to do a little discovery to see if there's any tight or trouble spots there. If I lean to the right, kind of hit more of that outer quad, and then obviously touch a little bit of the VMO and the inner quad on the left leg, you can do that. So playing with the directions. If you guys are here and you find a spot where, well, that's really tight or tender, let's say on the left side, I can just do a little flexion extension on that left leg just to play with it and see what it's like. And I also do like a little bit of just scrubbing, just side to side, just to see what's going on with both legs. Now that's the two-leg variation. I do like the single leg stuff. Obviously we've been over some of the VMO things where you guys are here. I take the inner quad, I let it sit there almost like in this plank position, and I just do a little just scrubbing just to see where there's any tight spots. Now for me, there's a little bit right here. I can feel it's tender and tight. Once I'm there, if I find it, I can do a little contract, squeeze, and relax into it. Try to let my body melt into the roller. Again, I can play with it, see what feels good, and this is not one of those things that feels good, but we're just doing discovery, trying to see what might be causing, if you have any, obviously, hip, knee pain, any tightness up in the hip flexors. Is it coming from anywhere down chain? So again, super simple, super easy way just to get the legs moving. I also, if you guys are trying to go outer quads or just do basic input to see what's going on, the barbell smash I do honestly like, but again, you can do it with the dumbbell, medicine ball, it doesn't matter. The simplest setup, you guys are here just seated. I grab this barbell, simply just set it on my quad, and for a lot of you guys, just the basic pressure of rolling this, if your stuff is tight and tender, you're going to find out in a hurry. Now you can do a little like you're kneading dough, but I just like to keep it nice and slow just to see like, okay, it feels fine, feels fine. If I roll forward, okay, there's a spot right there, and I can kind of play with it. And obviously I can rotate the foot, and I can hit a little bit of the mid to inner, but I do like, ooh, it is a little bit tight there. I do like this for the outside. Now, a lot of times what I do, especially if my stuff feels pretty good, to build up a little bit more, I'll take this bottom foot, I'll stick it under the glute. Now it buys me a little bit of leverage and some space, and now I'm really here playing with it, and I can really kind of dig in. But again, you play with what works for you. I do think this is great for just basic input to see what might be causing any issues you have, or really just to understand like how is our tissue quality and how tight are our quads. Because again, for most of us who sit for long periods of time during the day, the quads tend to get just super tight, super bound up. That kind of move the hips, they'll move that pelvis forward. A lot of times the tight quads can be cause of lower back pain just because everything down chain and up gets super tight, moves things around in a way that we don't like. So give these two a try, especially if you have any tightness or stiffness. Hopefully it helps.